Chapter 4. Zaccarias. In the ancient world, the life expectancy was quite short. When you eliminate infant mortality rates, however, the average lifespan of individuals was very near and in some cases surpassed that of those living in our modern era. Samuel Zaccarian, Master's Thesis. Zaccarias came into the living area of the house and saw that only his mother was there. "Where are father and Phineas?" he asked. He had hoped to catch the two of them before they left the house. "Those two mares that Hiram sold your father decided to both go into labor at the same time," his mother said. "They're down at the stables overseeing the miracle." Her voice was sharp and exasperated, but overlaid with the fondness of more than 30 years of marriage. "I shall tell them that they are to return to break their fast before they are to go on to the normal work of the day," he promised his mother, before giving her a hug and striding towards the entrance. It was only a short walk to the stable yard, and he could hear his mother chuckling as he left the house. His father and his brother both stood outside the two large box stalls for the mares they had acquired earlier in the year. In the first stall, there was a sturdy foal standing next to the mare, already nuzzling for sustenance. It was a colt, the gender obvious as he swished his tail vigorously while enjoying his first meal. Zaccarias then turned his attention to the mare in the stall his father and brother were watching. She was delivering a foal with barely a grunt at the effort involved. He watched, fascinated, as the foal immediately struggled to get to its feet. "Bit small, isn't it?" Zaccarias said. His father's response held an edge of amusement. "Wait, watch, learn." Zaccarias stepped closer, alarmed that the mare was still on her side. She should have been on her feet to encourage the foal's efforts to stand, helping the umbilicus to break as well. In this case, the mare was only neighing in encouragement and reassurance from where she lay prone on the stall floor. When her whinny changed tenor, the three men watched another foal swiftly join the first. So this was what his father meant. He had no experience with any horse giving birth to twins, but twin lambs were generally smaller than their single-birth counterparts. It made sense that this would be true of foals as well. "Fillies," his father said triumphantly. He had expressed the wish frequently that the two pregnant mares would provide him with a colt and a filly. 2 fillies and a colt made the event all the sweeter. They waited until all 3 foals had their first meal before Zaccarias urged his father and brother to return to the house. They were seated at the table, enjoying his mother's incomparable cooking, when he broached the subject he had planned for this morning's meal. "I have been asked to join the crew of the Ankamoon as one of their armed guards. She will be in port in a 7-day. His mother looked up and caught his eyes, holding back incipient tears. He looked at his father and saw that he understood. "I did not think you would remain." "You are sure?" Phineas asked him. Zaccarias clapped his brother on the back and said regretfully, "I believe that my fortune and future are on some distant shore. This farm is in your blood. You and your Anuri should formalize your relationship, bring many sons and daughters into the world for mother to dote upon them. He had to swallow on the catch in his throat before he could continue. "I must find my own place in this world, and it is not here in Anoxes." "It is dangerous work," his mother said, her voice trembling. "I am strong, mother. Can you imagine anyone risking my wrath?" She shook her head and looked away, tears rolling down her cheeks. She swallowed and said, her eyes on the plate in front of her, "I always knew that I would one day have to say goodbye. May the 7 gods of Centrath see you happy and healthy." "We shall have a celebration before you leave, and if you are ever in port again, you must visit." His father's words were gruff, as if he felt the same emotion as his wife, but could not demonstrate it as freely. The words felt like a blessing, and Zaccarias was warm to his core at his parents' sentiment. But he was almost 25, and it was time for him to move on.